Hello, this is Colin Brown, and I'm presenting for group number 4. First off, we have our weak mitigation function. This takes a list of dangerous characters. It loops through the user input and checks to see if one of the characters is inside of that input. And if not, it just prints out that the input is invalid. Second, our strong mitigation function. It requires even more characters that are not allowed, and it also does not allow characters to be over 20 for each input. So that's for the username and for the password. Now we're going to launch our test cases. Alright, we start with a valid test. This username passes for the weak mitigation and for the strong mitigation. Okay, for the first one, we have Sean's tests. The username is Scrick. The password is pass or 1 equals 1. It's an invalid input because it uses or and an equal sign. And in the strong mitigation, it fails because of letters and numbers. For the second one, pass semicolon union all select star from password list. The weak mitigation catches the or, the union, and the colon, and semicolon, and the strong mitigation does not allow letters or numbers, or doesn't allow characters that are not letters or numbers. For the next one, the username is a apostrophe semicolon insert into, and here the semicolon and apostrophe are caught by the weak mitigation, and the strong mitigation catches those characters. Here, the username is the one that's the problem, with the semicolon and apostrophe not permitted by the weak mitigation, and the strong mitigation catching all the characters. For my tests, for Colin's tests, here the weak mitigation catches the or and the equal sign, and the characters are caught by the strong mitigation. For the union tests, the use of union and the semicolon is not allowed by the weak mitigation, and the strong mitigation does not allow any characters. For the next one, the characters are caught by the weak mitigation, and the characters are also caught by the strong mitigation. Here the characters are the semicolon and the hash character is not allowed, and the strong mitigation and characters are not allowed. Here, null is passed through in the tautology for both tests. Here the character is not allowed in union, and the union keyword is not allowed by the weak mitigation. The strong mitigation does not allow the characters here. Next is the semicolon and the characters are not allowed. Next, the two hash characters are not allowed by the weak mitigation or the strong mitigation. And for Camilla's tests, the or is not allowed, and the equal sign is not allowed by the weak mitigation, and the characters are caught by the strong mitigation. Here, the semicolon and the union are not allowed by the weak mitigation, and the characters are caught by the strong mitigation. Next, the characters are caught by the weak mitigation of the semicolon and the apostrophe, and the same with the strong mitigation. For the next one, the semicolon and the apostrophe are not allowed by the weak mitigation, and any of the characters are not by the strong. For Devin's tests, the or and equal sign is not allowed by the weak mitigation, and the characters are not allowed by the strong mitigation. Here, the union keyword as well as the hash symbol is not allowed by the weak mitigation, and any of the characters are not allowed by the strong. Here we have many of these characters which are not allowed by the weak mitigation, And then all of these characters are blocked by the strong negation. And finally, this hash symbol is not allowed by weak mitigation as well as the strong. So we will try to do a manual test. So we select username, and let's do a regular password. Alright, that passed because it was a valid username and password. So now we're going to try to do an invalid one. Sorry. There we go. And alright, here, the semicolon and the hash are not permitted by the weak mitigation function, and both of the characters are not allowed by the strong. Alright, that is the conclusion of our testing, and that is our program. Thank you.